Hi guys, it's Stephanie here with AllMomDoes, and I've been making this recipe on repeat for about 6 weeks every week per request of my family because they love it so much. So it's about time I shared it with you. What I love even more is that you can make most of it ahead of time so that it's great on a busy work night or school night when you're running the kids around because you've already made half of it the night before or sometime during the weekend. So I always make this sauce ahead of time, which is what we're gonna do tonight. What I also love is that it's super easy to turn into a vegetarian option. So my daughter is a vegetarian and I can easily make the sauce, which is a vegetarian sauce, but then we have a meat option and a veggie option. So it suits everyone in my house. So my friend put me onto this. I believe she saw it somewhere on social media. It's a baked dumpling recipe. And so here's all you're gonna need. You're gonna need these pot stickers from Trader Joe's. You can pretty much use any type of pot sticker, but I get a bag of the chicken and I get a bag of the pork. And then for my daughter, she loves these vegetable ones. She eats these all the time. So I do this for her option and then I pour the sauce separately. Obviously I'll split these up to have a meat and a veggie option. I also will usually use either spinach and or this coleslaw, cabbage mix rather. My family surprisingly likes both of these, so we get lots of veggies in it as well. But what I'm gonna do ahead tonight for tomorrow's dinner is I'm gonna make the sauce, and then the other items I just showed you, I'll quickly put together tomorrow night. Okay, so let's make the sauce. It's literally 3 simple ingredients with a couple optional ingredients. So these are all Trader Joe's items. You're gonna use this red curry sauce. I use about 3/4 of the bottle, so quite a bit. And then you're gonna use half a can to a can of coconut milk. I always use a whole can. I get the reduced fat coconut milk. I think any type would work. And then I also get this soyaki sauce, and you're gonna use about 3 tablespoons of it. So these 3 are the ones that I think are not optional that you will need for the sauce. And then optional, I always will drizzle a little bit of chili oil, and then my husband and I like a little more spice than the kids, so we'll add these are just red pepper flakes that I have in my little jar here. So let's make the sauce. I don't think it could be any more simple. You're gonna pour the coconut milk into a bowl, and you're gonna add about 3/4 of the bottle of your red Thai curry sauce. Sometimes I'll just use the whole bottle. It just sort of depends, but about 3/4. And then you're gonna add 3 tablespoons of your soyaki sauce. Ooh, don't spill it, just right in there. Give it a nice stir, and then I'm just gonna literally store this in the refrigerator until tomorrow when we're gonna pour it over the rest, but I'll show you the rest tomorrow when I make it for dinner. Okay, so I just got home from work. I pulled the sauce that I made last night out of the fridge, and we're gonna go ahead and assemble everything for tonight's dinner. I also found some green onion in my fridge, so I'm gonna chop that up because my husband likes that on top of his dumplings. Okay, so I have 2 pans because I'm gonna put the meat version in this one and then my daughter's vegetarian version in this one. So I start by just putting a bunch of spinach in the bottom of each. Okay, so here's the chicken and pork option, and then I have my daughter's vegetarian option. There's actually 6 in there, one's in the bottom hidden. These are a little over full, but my 15-year-old son eats a ton, so I just make it work. I put all 2 bags in here. I've also preheated my oven to 400 degrees. So this is the sauce that I made yesterday. I'm gonna give it a little bit of a stir, and then I'm just gonna pour it over each of my pans here with the pot stickers. I also might add about 1/3 cup of water just because I might need a little bit more liquid to split between the 2. Okay, so I poured the mixture over. I used most of it for this larger meat portion. My daughter doesn't like hers as saucy, so I just put a little bit of mixture in hers, the rest in here, and we're gonna pop it in the oven, typically about 30 minutes. You wanna wait till it starts getting a little bubbly, and then this is optional, but I usually will broil it for a couple of minutes at the very end to get a nice crisp on it. And then optional is to pour over some of that chili or sesame oil as well. The chili oil adds a little bit too much spice for my kids, so I add it after I bake it. Okay, pulled it out of the oven after about 30 minutes. My daughter's vegetarian version went in for less time because it was a little bit smaller portion. I already started dishing it up for everybody. I'm gonna put green onions on my husband's as well as this flyby jing sauce that I get him at Target, and then a little bit of chili oil as well for the adult portions that like a little bit more spice. Enjoy. Follow AllMomDoes for additional tips, tricks, and daily inspiration and recipes.